Reading for August 31st, Science of Mind, A Philosophy, a Faith, a Way of Life by Ernest Holmes. Reading from page 404, paragraph 5, through page 407, paragraph 4, using inclusive language. We should contact a larger field of faith. This is done by understanding that Creator is the giver and the sustainer of human life and expression. Creator is all there is. It is substance and supply. We must learn to accept this. If it is Creator's pleasure to give us its sovereignty, then it should be our pleasure to accept the gift. The Spirit has not withheld good from us, but ignorance of the true law of supply has caused us to have fear. Quote, they could not enter in because of their unbelief and because they limited the Holy One of Israel. End quote. We should endeavor to stop limiting Creator. All things are given unto us, but we shall have to do the taking. Creator gives in the abstract, we receive in the concrete. The gift of bliss is forever made. The receiving of this gift is an eternal process of forever expanding the finite. Since we cannot contract the absolute, we shall have to expand the relative. The infinite will not be or become less than itself. We are its nature. We did not make our own being. All we can do is to accept that the being which we are is part of the divine. To know this is to overcome fear. Whether this fear is of lack, pain, sickness, or death, it is always a belief that there is something other than life, or that life withholds pleasure, peace, success, and bliss from us. Love alone can overcome fear because love surrenders itself to the object of its adoration. The soul must make a complete surrender of itself to the Spirit. That is, the law must come under subjection to the Spirit. The will of the Spirit is peace, clear thinking, and happiness. It could have no other will. Should we learn to contemplate those things which are desirable and to forget the rest, we would soon overcome fear through faith. Both are mental. Let us learn to reverse the thoughts of fear and transmute them into faith. Since Spirit is present in its entirety at all times and in all places, it follows that all Spirit is wherever we center our attention. And since Spirit is both receptivity and creative responsiveness, it follows that wherever we center our attention, its image must concentrate substance into the form of such attention. This is fundamental to our concept of mental and spiritual treatment, for it is not by external power nor through objective might that our work is to be done, but through the Spirit and the law. The Spirit guides and the law executes. That which we can take is given us. Pure Spirit exists at the center of all form. Of itself, it is formless, but it is ever giving birth to form. The forms come and go, but it goes on forever. We are some part of it. If pure Spirit is at the center of everything and is always responding to our thought, there is no limit to its manifestation for us except the limitations that we set. If it is difficult to see this, realize that our subjective self is the immediate connection between the absolute and the relative. It is our share of the law, and the immediate connects us with the creativeness of the whole. The absolute is in relationship to itself alone. It is not circumscribed by any form, but remains independent of all forms. it can as easily create a form for us as to perpetuate an old one. Mind is the realm of causes. Conditions are in the realm of effects. Effects flow from causes and not from themselves. Thought is the instrument of mind. New thoughts create new conditions. We must learn to think in the absolute. This means to think independently of any given or experienced effect. Quote, judge not according to appearances, end quote. This thought strikes away the shackles of bondage and finds a new cause at work. Just as we can conceive of some definite idea, then go on to the conception of another, so we can treat for as many conditions as we can clearly conceive. We cannot account for the seen without having faith in the unseen. All advance in science or any other branch of learning must follow this rule if it is to accomplish anything. To believe in life is to believe in the invisible. As science postulates some etheric movement at the center of all objective form, so we start with the premise that this initial movement starts as pure intelligence, independent of any form but ready to take form. All form is temporary, even though it lasts for countless millions of years. That is, any given form comes and goes in a process of time, for any given time is temporary. We have arrived at the conclusion that spirit, or the mind of Creator, is all causation. Then spirit or mind is also all effect. Cause and effect are but two ends of one unity. The physical end is visible, the spiritual invisible, but may be inwardly perceived and outwardly experienced. Spirit, then, is all there is at this very hour, and all creation is spiritual. The universe is a spiritual system impregnated with divine ideas and peopled with spiritual forms. The ideas of Creator are perfect laws on their way to producing complete and perfect effects. The universe is alive, conscious, awake, and aware. It is love and life. It is law and order. It is a cosmos.